Hello! Hey, this is actually working. Okay, so, yeah. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show that is, well, a whole lot less interesting than actually many other shows tonight. But yeah, I figured that since somebody mentioned it, or since it was the KSP Challenge of the Week, we would look at landing spacecraft on rockets. Very specifically, no parachutes, rockets only. Now, I gotta say, the original challenge that Andy posted said, no lander legs and no mods. I think she's confused. I think she means no parachutes, but that's fine because, you know, rocket science can be very confusing. So, you know, let's just work on this thing. I'm not going to use any mods for readouts or numbers like this, so we gotta try and come up with some way to make this sensible. Yeah, so what do? We're going to put something on the front here. I'm going to put like one of these on the front. Clampatron, just so we can have like a docking. Yeah, we're going to try the thing, and then we're going to try and do it with solid rocket boosters. That's the important step. The next critical step in this path to fun. So I'm not sure how much thrust we actually need to stop this thing, but... actually, now I think about it, I wonder how much thrust... Oh, wait a second, where are we? These. How much thrust... Oh, these only get 120 at sea level, so they're kind of useless for landing. Now, we need something that gives us decent thrust at sea level. 250, the Twitch ones are pretty good. And... the Twitch and the Spark are both kind of in the same ballpark. They're really seem to be pretty good at low level. Obviously, there is the toroidal aerospike, which might work. I mean, I guess I could do something like this. Where's the aerospike? Oh, actually, I think you can't actually stack anything under the aero... Oh, no, they fixed that! How nice of them to fix that particular feature. I think I'm just going to put some stuff on the side of this. So how is everybody tonight? What's going on? What is the status beyond the interesting news? The other stuff that we're not going to talk about, because we don't do that here. I think we got to put landing struts on here, and we'll... Yeah, that's how we'll do that. Okay, and then we've got that for stability. Okay, so test land. Test land. There, we'll do that. Save. You woke up in time. In time for what? Okay, start extended. No, we're not going to start extended. We are, however, going to start inside a fairing, so we need a coupler. A coupler... Coupliciousness. Airstream protective shell. Just gonna make this a bit bigger, and then smaller, and then really small. There we go. And then we'll stick one of these on here, just as like a boost so we can get it up to speed before we practice landing. Yeah, we're just gonna watch some random boring dude play video games and talk about things like yeah, the X-35 finally returning after practically 2 years in space. That's gotta be interesting. Derpin! McThulu is Derpin and Wookie Goldberg is Taco Bellin. As opposed to Taco Bell ending. Because, you know. Okay. Stability control. There we do. Nice, this thing has pretty solid G. I'm just using like a stock install here, by the way. Prograde, and what we want to be doing is picking up lateral speed, so I'm going to push a little more in this direction before we burn out. In time for your stream, when I woke up I was like, oh crap, I missed it. Listen, sometimes... Oh, wait. Let's throttle this down a bit. How? Oh wow, we're really going high here. 54 kilometers. That's not so bad. But we'll boost it sideways when we reach apoaps. Here we go. Just gotta watch this number. We do have electric charge, but we're doing fine here. I'll just let it get up that far. Then your body's weirdly optimized itself for certain Taco Bell menu items. I cannot imagine what those menu items might be. Okay, so now we're gonna throttle 100%. So we're kind of going sideways fast. We're not gonna go full re-entry speed. Actually, I didn't think we'd go full re-entry speed, but crikey. Oh, wait, this thing better not get into orbit. Okay, you know what? That's fast. That's practically getting into orbit. This thing is so fired. Okay, let's detonate. Ditch. Ditch. And now we need to go retrograde. This thing better not crash into me. Oh, nice. The thing's just kind of flying sideways because there is just a little bit of atmosphere here, so the air is catching it and pulling it sideways. Get that? It's pitching upwards. It's kind of cool watching that thing move around. I suspect I may have some problem with overheating. Let's just check the thermometer's on. Enabled, highlight disabled. Gauge is disabled, highlight enabled, all enabled, okay. Nothing here though, so far. So far it is but, oh there, temperature gauges. Menu items in... Are you guys really gonna take such a facetious attitude to talking about Taco Bell? And when I say facetious, it's not really the proper use of the word facetious. I'm really talking about the word that is rooted in feces. I'm not sure Taco Bell food is going to produce the optimum space poop for growing potatoes. I think that's more a McDonald's, or as I like to call them, Dirty Ron kind of things. I guess this is actually coming down just fine. Now the question is, I'm now quick saving, right? Because what I want to do is, at the last minute, fire this engine. The drink of the night is just a Betty IPA by Hangar 24. Notice the interesting like aircraft design and nose art, because you know, there's something kind of cool about that. Here we go. So coming down 500 meters per second. I actually wonder how much thrust I'm going to get from this. Yeah, Dirty Rons is what the name that I've adopted. Partly because of questionable standards of cleanliness, but also because, well, Ronald McDonald is clearly a dirty old man. Like, and that's as far as we go. You have not missed anything. You missed me accidentally building a rocket that almost went to orbit without actually trying. Okay. Okay, so we get about 2 G's acceleration on this, and I don't know how far above the surface I am, so let's try that. And just a little too late on my testing there, so that is not Elon Musk quality. Elon Musk, obviously. I keep saying Elon, but Elon. F9. Okay, once again, watch the same thing. Descend through the atmosphere. Gear deploy. I know I get so close to making it, but the one thing I realize I don't have is a proper, you know, measure of my altitude. I guess I could view it from the inside. Let's just take a look. There's my thing here. Oh. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. Oh, and I did it too early there. And it doesn't actually have enough fuel. I've basically run out of fuel. That's good to know. I don't even have enough fuel to slow down. So actually I may not have given enough fuel to this thing. So this is why we're doing this. Try opening that port. Oh yes, good idea. Let's open the shield here. Yeah, I'm wondering if the model does that, improves the drag situation. Okay, hold on. Okay, and what's going to happen actually is I think we run out of fuel before we... Oh yes, we actually run out of fuel at 30 meters per second, but I fired early. Okay. F9 before we die again. Sorry, I think I'm really sniffly tonight. I'm not sure. I've had a lot going on. I'm definitely going to open this again, because I think that definitely made a difference. So, time, accelerate, aim, retrograde. Actually, you know what I think? Another thing I could do is try this angle here, right? So if I angle it like this, then what I'm doing is I'm providing lateral lift, right? And so I'm actually keeping myself, in theory, I'm transferring sideways. I wonder if that'll help slow myself down. I don't know, we'll find out. Am I going to do another Interstellar series? No, if anything, like, if Galileo Conquest doesn't turn into Interstellar, it's probably not going to happen. And let's do that. Once again... I think I really do need proper altitude display here. Yeah, so that one stopped at 45. EVA... Oh look, the docking port survived. Okay, so part of the problem... Okay, back to... okay, so F9... I need to do this. House time with family based on... It's lots. Okay, so actually, let's try doing this. I'm gonna... What I'm really thinking is if I angle like this, I might end up moving at a different rate. Let's deploy this again. Open the shield... Open the pod bay doors, hell. My Galileo series is still going. The main problem is that I've had a lot of stuff in real life going on and taking a lot of time. So I've been unable to kind of continue to follow up with stuff. I released another Galileo. It wasn't short or long, it just was. But you know, there's a lot of other things that I've been trying to make videos of, such as Stellaris. I've been pretty much looking at making a video on that for like a month. Haven't quite got around to it. So this thing, yeah, this is maximal drag here. And it's not slowing down by this point. Start at 1600, you think? I think that's too late. I think I'm gonna start at, 1700. But it all depends on... It depends on a lot of things, and just part of the problem is that I'm literally just short on fuel here. Still, at least we got everyone home safely. Yeah, the short was for April Fools, yeah. That wasn't a real one, that was just being silly. Do I ever do research at Lowell Observatory? No, I never did research at Lowell Observatory, although I used their asteroid orbit data file. I did do a Stellaris series, Something Blue, but I think I'd like to do another... I'd like to do some more. I love playing Stellaris, but nobody really watched my previous Stellaris series after the first few episodes. You know, the final episodes had like 10,000 views, so... you know, big fan of the game, but unless people actually watch it, you know, that doesn't really help. How come I don't have that one that I saved? What? Okay, I thought I called that something else. Okay. So, probably need some more fuel tanks here, right? Just to add a little more endurance. And we'll Lambert in the alien... Lambert? Lambert! Not Lambert! Who's... What the heck? Come on, pay attention. Pay attention to the rules of the game. I'll just put another one of these in here. I might play some Stellaris tonight. Okay. That at least gives me a few seconds, another fraction of a second to decelerate. Man, I'm feeling really sniffly. Just pushing this thing sideways. Oh, come on. Come on. You convinced your roommate to stream the entirety of Space Plan most of Saturday. The thing about Space Plan is I wanted to show the whole game, but equally, I didn't think it was fair on the developers if I was to show the whole game. Because a lot of it's like something you should play, right? It's not, you know, it's like not fair for me to show a whole game when the game is driven by narrative, right? Apparently we are having issues with potentially with the frame driver, by the way, the encoder getting a little confused and worried. How do we do that? Oh, speed! Yeah, look, we basically got up to near orbital velocity here. Yeah, to orbital velocity. I think I could get this spacecraft into orbit. But I'm not going to, obviously. Grab the Kerbal mod and play with actual Kerbals. Oh, you mean Stellaris? I don't feel that I want to do that. Okay, wonder where I'm gonna end up. I'm actually literally gonna fly around the planet and land on the dark side. You know what? I kinda wanna see. Let's revert flight. I thought this would be like a a little Joe test, but I think I can get this thing into orbit. I totally think yeah, I totally think that I can do this. So I'm gonna go. Right, so this is it. One single booster and this cap and everything on it, right? Let's see if I can get it into orbit. So T and we're gonna go this way instead. That's not true. The only big T, there are actually the Atlas. The first Atlas was, you could consider a single stage to orbit because it only had one fuel tank. If you think about it, it just ditched rockets instead of fuel tanks. Besides, calling the lunar system an SSTO is kind of, ignoring the fact that the moon isn't exactly Earth. Okay. Let's see if I can... Might need just a little bit of thrust here. We'll see if we can... if this will go into orbit here. And anyway, on paper, if you strip down like a Falcon 9, if you stripped off the landing gear and the booster stage, it could probably go into orbit. The Atlas, what it did was it had like a central sustainer engine and 2 booster engines on either side. And halfway up, like, it would ditch those. Okay, how are we doing? 10 seconds. Oh, throttled 100%. Let's see if we can get it into orbit. Come on. Oh, man. Just kind of short there. But you know what, of course. Let's revert flight to vehicle assembly. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to revert flight to launch. It doesn't really matter because I think I realized that I could ditch the fairing. So let's try this again. Throttle 100%. And go. And we're going to turn a little more aggressively. So that's kind of one of those things. I'm going to throttle to 2G right now as we're traveling through Mach 1. And then start throttling back up. This is us kind of going through max Q here, right? And you don't want to have too much thrust when you're in the lower atmosphere, otherwise you're kind of wasting energy. Also, because the fuel gets more efficient as you go higher up, there's a certain advantage to burning your fuel later in the flight. Okay, that's us. We're going to hold that there. Look at it go! The chat has not crashed, big TJH. You are just being ignored, apparently. I'm not sure why, because there's no like bots or anything that would do that. No, I think that Twitch has just crashed just for you. You are about to type out about a slow burn to save fuel. No, it's totally true. But you see, it's basically a balance between engines getting more efficient as you get to higher altitude, against gravity losses and steering losses, and you just kind of have to balance that. And I'm sure there is an optimal ascent profile that will get this whole thing into orbit. And I should ditch this stage now, by the way, so that we reduce the mass that we have to take into orbit, into final orbit. Okay. How far do we get? 1 minute to go. The velocity has dropped quite significantly here. Oh, there's the music. Okay, 10 seconds. Let's get on the horizon. And then let's burn. See how close we get. See if we accidentally made a single stage to orbit, because Kerbal Space Program is pretty efficient. Oh, there we go. Yeah, totally accidentally put it into orbit. As a professional astronomer, so I was, yeah, so professional astronomer as in I was working at an observatory and getting paid. Yes, the rocket science. Mostly the thing that came naturally was the orbital mechanics, right? And understanding how to fly in space. Okay, so that's us in orbit, and I guess we're gonna start a deorbit burn over this area here. Get the lowest orbit possible. I've been there, done that, whatever. Okay, so where we're gonna go. So we're gonna flip around and use that booster to boost back down and re-enter over the desert, because that's a good place for me to attempt a landing. Firing that engine, slowing me down. Oh, and apparently that's as far as I get. Okay, well, time to ditch you. Bye, son. Bye-bye, son. Let's see what happens. I wonder where we actually come down, because we're going to hit 52 kilometers here. It might actually bring us over the space center. That's what I'm wondering here. Could there be a stellar system when binary stars could orbit a planet at its center? No, because that would be unstable. So pretty much realistic stellar systems can't be unstable. And that means anything at L1, 2, or 3 points. Now the L4 and L5 points are sort of stable, but nothing ever actually sits at them. It's more a case of like things orbiting around it by quite a long way. I wonder if we can actually safely re-enter, if this thing will just melt, like, because of the way sustained heat has a habit of breaking the spacecraft more than, you know, partial heat, more than like intense burning heat, intense burning desire to return the spacecraft to the surface. Okay. Might get in and out of this atmosphere. We're just kind of flying through it. Who knows where we're going to end up? And this is like a roulette. Anybody want to bet on where we end up landing? Okay, I guess we're not going to skip back into space, so I think we're going to end up here somewhere. Or maybe not. Yeah, we are captured. We are on our way home. And we're not slowing down quickly enough to get down over the space center here. I could have used a little bit of fuel to make that happen, but no. You'd think that opening the shield would make a big difference. I think at this point it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to close the shield for safety purposes, you know? Oh, apparently we have skipped through Apoapс, and once again our... yeah, Apoaps is here. So we're going to come down somewhere in this sea here. Maybe if we're... I don't think we're going to get that far that we end up on there, but let's find out. I'm going to be so excited. Come on, this is the time. Guess the final longitude of the landing site, right? Guess the final longitude. We're going to take bets here. Of course, you have to know what the location of the space center is here. Also, I hope that we land before the sun sets. Otherwise, we may have some problems with lacks of power. Okay, not gonna get... Where are we gonna end up? Okay, we're getting a whole lot of numbers getting thrown in here. Of course, the smart people are betting things like Belgium or burning up. Because burning up is probably more likely than all of these things. I just realized I should enable that. I'm gonna hit F5 now, so I can cheat. It'd be so unlike me, wouldn't it? Oh, there's the land. There's some stuff there. But I think, yeah, we're gonna come in short. Okay, landing gear open. I'm not going to open this port because that is just cheating. Should probably rotate this way as well, so we maximize our exposure to our solar panels. Okay, so I'm going to fire my engines at around 1500. Oh, it's a little too late there. 90 meters per second. Well, you know, if you do it the first time, it means that you have to go. We have to go and play those other games, which not everybody likes. Wouldn't Aerosmith? Maybe an Aerospike would be. I'm not really sure if anybody has done testing of engines for retropropulsion. Like, there was. So you know the space shuttle return to launch site. Many people thought that the engines wouldn't even burn correctly when you turned them around and pointed them retrograde. So that was one of the reasons it was considered unnatural. And like, many people thought that SpaceX, their Merlin engines wouldn't light up correctly when they were going backwards at hypersonic speeds. No, I'm not going to use air brakes. Yeah, we're doing the Kerbal challenge that as published on the Kerbal Space Program thing, and then finally we want to do it with solid rocket boosters. Of course, I also accidentally built an SSTO, which is kind of cool. It's not a recoverable SSTO, but it's an SSTO. There we go. $60 meters per second. This is what happened. It says no mods. No mods are allowed. Well, you know what? Save and load is allowed. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Did I deploy the landing gear? I should have made sure I deployed the landing gear as well. Okay, here we go. Once again, let's deploy the landing gear now. Early. Actually, you know what? I should try seeing if I can adjust my angle of attack on descent to see if I can kind of skip over that extra distance. That's a good idea. No, I think there is a beer of the night, which is a Betty IPA, which is by Hangar 24, and from Redlands, California. And the beer of the night, it's the beer of the night. I'm not going to sing anymore because that's just bad. Okay, trying to stop again at exactly the right moment here. 3, 2, 1. Nice! And we did actually lose our tank though. But look, it even raised its arms. It's going, yeah! It's like laying out in the water. Like, yes! Okay. But, yeah, I want to see. So I kind of think it's cool that I managed to make that there. But what I want to do is reload that and see if I can side slip a little and make it to that thing. So what I should do is that. Right? Because what that'll do is it's adjusting my lift. And it might actually push me a little further. I never did check the angle at which I was arriving, did I? But I'm thinking that by adjusting my angle of attack, I might provide some lift upwards, which might mean that I travel further in that direction, and therefore might actually hit land. Obviously, it's very hard to see anything here, and I think it actually hasn't made any real difference as it is, but whatever. I never checked the longitude, to be honest. Okay, well, time to deploy the landing gear at supersonic speeds. Yeah, well, all the spacecraft that are capsules after Apollo and onwards, they all used, you know, kind of aerodynamic control. Soyuz does it as well. Soyuz doesn't fall through the atmosphere like a ballistic object. It's actually doing an aerodynamic re-entry, except when that breaks and everybody gets forced to experience like 9 Gs of deceleration, which sucks. Of course, it's not nearly as bad as, say, Scott Stapp, who kept on forcing himself to feel things like, you know, 30 G's outwards, eyes out, like worst possible G deceleration, basically. He was ordered to stop it, and then they kind of realized, oh yeah, the space agency needs this. And that was just as fast. We completely destroyed everything that time. Do you think I went a little further? Let me just see. So actually, who had 42 degrees? Somebody had 42 degrees, I'll bet you, because that's... Yes, TK0423 correctly guessed that I would be 42 degrees. That's the longitude. 42 degrees west. See that? That is magic. It's almost like 42 is some sort of special number. Okay. Yeah, Scott Stapp was very special, and I'm not really sure if we mean like special forces or special education. No, that's a bad thing to say. He was definitely a very interesting individual for his work. What does he win? I don't know, he got his name read out. Like, yeah. 42 equals 6 times 9. 42 is completely random. No, it's not. Let's recover this thing. Oh, we sank something to the bottom. What was it, do you think? Oh yeah, this thing still sinking. It's going on its voyage and it's still hot, I think. Look, it's red hot, despite sitting in water. No, I mean, did I get his name mixed up? The guy that did the... John Stapp. Yes, I'm sorry. John Stapp. Oh, man. I am an idiot. But, yeah, lead singer of Creed is terrible. I'm sorry. He just wants to be Eddie Vedder, and he has neither the talent nor the charisma. Yeah. That was really embarrassing. I got that name mixed up because, yeah, I hate that. I hate Creed. Yeah, really. Sorry if you're a big fan, but yeah, no, you shouldn't be. You really shouldn't be a big fan of them. Oh, look, we finally hit the bottom. It's all dark here. I can't see anything. Let's zoom out. Look, 800 meters below the surface. Or this is 800, yeah, 817 meters. Okay, so let's recover the vessel. Now that we've marked the seafloor where this actually happened. Yeah, submarines should be made out of aerospikes. They seem to be pretty good at that. So now, can I do that with a solid rocket booster, right? So we've got the test land, okay. Test land 2. Now, we're going to ditch this again and going to keep this. If I can put... I think what we need to do is do some test runs. So a flea, I don't think that'll provide enough velocity, right? Would that cause a lead and frost effect? Could you just get a shield hot enough to skim across the surface? You could, or you, but here's the thing, if you want to skim across water, a steam cushion is a really bad way of doing it. You'd be better to do, say, something like air, right? Blowing air underneath. Okay, so that's going to be too slow, right? Revert flight to vehicle assembly. Maybe 2 of them might work. So maybe this is the way to go. Actually, I think in terms of... Well, actually, this burns pretty fast. That's the nice thing. So we go into structural and we do like the 3-way adapter. Let's try that. Adam said he was listening to a level 40. I never even knew that level 42 were around that long ago. What's his name? Mark King? He was a great bass player. Yeah, so that's a little more thrust than we actually need. So maybe just the 2 of them. Just the two of them. Just the two of them. Oh, wrong one. Surround it with Sepatrons? No, I don't need Sepatrons. Okay, so remember, we'll have to get this in reverse, right? Yeah, 300 meters per second. If I'm doing that in reverse, that should be just enough, right? So now revert to vehicle assembly. We'll throw on some extra legs just to make sure we can touch down. Like, because never underestimate the power of legs to absorb all sorts of shocks. Okay, actually, let's do that. Yeah, oh, crap. No. That. Let's just get these lined up. Yes. I think that'll be a good setup. Close this, start extended. Extended, start retracted. So that will have to now fit inside a fairing. And the problem is, to attach the fairing, we need to do something like we need to do some way to attach the fairing, right? So actually, one way to do it, which is cheating, we can do this, right? So it's not strictly correct, but because both of the things won't be connected, but do this, and then we attach one. Now, oh, we only need one. We don't need to actually mirror it. But we can then attach the... It means we can attach the rest of the rocket without worrying. So we'll just do like this. Oh, wrong way around. Actually, you want to start here and go up there. So that way we know the center of mass of the connector and everything is correct, even if we've got this kind of pointless thing. And we didn't need to make it go too fast. We just need to make it go fast enough that we can get it to test velocity. There we go. And finally... Which one actually connected? There. There, you see? That's the one that connected. That one did. So you mouse over it, and it sort of shows that. But that one actually shows there, right? The way you place it only once... Is there a mod to make both nodes connect? No, but it is possible to do it with docking nodes, I believe. That was something... Oh, maybe not, actually. I remember that was something I requested from the devs. The thing is that all the rockets in Kerbal Space Program are essentially trees of parts, so you can't have any loops. And so that's why you cannot have multiple ports like that connecting correctly. But it's good enough. Like, it works well enough. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's go sideways again. Hey, Monolith. What secrets do you hold? I don't really care because I'm going up to the cold. Yeah, Nordic Link, sorry, stop posting things. No, you cannot have permission to post that mod link. The reason is, that would require me to stop playing the game and give you permission. It's not that I'm a nasty person that hates you or anything, it's simply that I'm playing a game right now and I'm not a moderator and I don't have time to arrange that. We lost the solar panels. Okay. Well, hopefully I can land this thing. I'm gonna turn off stability control right now. I wonder how far I'm gonna go. Oh. Yeah, no, it's not... I just don't have the time to deal with it. If you want to post links that, to me, like after the fact, the best way to post a link that is relevant that you want to tell me about is to go on Twitter and tell me about it, right? Because then, you know, then it's just a whole lot easier. Average Joe, I'm not really caring. I just wanted to get this spacecraft going out roughly. Yes, I could go higher in the atmosphere before turning. There we go. Nice separation, I like that. I gotta rotate 180 degrees. I'm gonna deploy this. Okay, I don't have much electric charge. No, I didn't mean to do that. Hopefully I don't run out of... How big is the Saturn V Lego set? So how about that Lego set? Yeah, well, I mean, I mentioned last week I want one. I am almost certainly... I'm not sure whether I should just pre-order it from the store or whether I should actually turn up at the Lego store in San Francisco at like 9 AM on the day that it's released. Does anybody know how these things work? Because, yeah, I probably will do that. I've got a busy week. I'm actually doing a thing at... we're doing a games night at Chabot Space Science Center on that Friday. So I'll probably get it, have to go to work, and then come home, and then it'll be like a live stream of me building it. So yeah, 1969 parts, which is interesting. The construction techniques look different. Yeah, I don't actually go to Curse very often anymore because I think most of the mods there aren't being maintained particularly well. Yeah, it's a 1 meter high model. So I saw something on some, you know, Lego fan website that showed about how it was built and the parts and everything. The construction technique's really, really odd. $120, and I think that's great value for money by the sound of things. It's like a you know, given the cost per piece is about 6 cents, which is way better than your average Lego set, for example. Oh, crap. That is not good. Okay. Let's put these legs in and open this. Come on! This is where I realized... Okay. Come on! Wobble through that! Wobble through it! Damn it! Okay. We're just going into the ground. Yeah. Okay, so that launch clearly didn't work too well. Let's revert to vehicle assembly. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna need. I had SAS enabled, but I just had too much drag. So one option is to take the landing gear. So let's actually deploy this. Start retracted. One option might just be to move the landing gear further up. I think that's what I'm gonna do instead of. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna put the landing gear on the rocket itself. LT1. Now wait a second, where do we need to put this? Yeah, there. Oh, there I said. Okay, that's clear, landscape, all clear. So these are mostly here as shock absorbers, right? So I think if I have those and then I keep them hidden away, that might help. I'm not sure that even makes sense. Okay. So either that or I gotta add some sort of, you know, thing like reaction control thrusters or anything, but reaction control thrusters don't really work so well. Okay, let's do this again. Actually, probably should only get up to like a few hundred meters per second. And just go here. Let's get up to like a kilometer per second. Okay, retrograde. Yeah, this thing can't turn retrograde. Let's try that. Man! Fight it! Come on! So the problem is those things are too heavy. So they're simply not gonna work. I'd need to have air brakes up here, and then that would kind of ruin the whole thing, right? So again, the other option. Okay, let's get rid of these for now. I could put little winglets up near the top. Like this, except like that. Yeah, that might work. Let's see if that does anything. Launch. It doesn't matter if they don't touch the ground. Yeah, so we're going to be doing like some Shibbo Space Science, and we're going to do like a video game science themed kind of thing, because obviously I like to go there and talk about Kerbal Space Program. So there will be other stuff. We're still planning it, but it will be, you know, like a month away. But yeah, man, I'm getting excited for this Lego model as well. Boy, am I getting excited. Okay, here we go. Ready? Let's try this. Spin? I'm trying to unstabilize it. Okay. Well, that clearly doesn't work. Actually, the problem is the weight of these isn't so high. I need these to be heavier. Oh, excellent! Excellent! Oh, almost! Yes! There we go. So now we just need to figure out if we can stop this thing in time. So I'm F5ing because I think we can actually stop it just fine. So the trick is now that we need to stop this as it hits the ground and hit it at just the right altitude. If we do it too early, then the rockets will send us back into the air and then we'll die. But if we hit the ground still going downwards fast enough, we shall destroy these rockets and everybody shall be saved. Wow, and we are actually moving faster now I think about it. Let's fire about now. Oh, crap! Wrong button. Actually, yeah, the thrust on that thing is too high. Okay. And that, my friends, is why I hit F5. I'm not the one. There will be some promotion of the event once the time gets closer. Put it that way. But I'm not the principal advertiser, let's say. Okay, here we go. And space. Okay. Land! Go on, land! Yes, exactly as Elon Musk intended. Look, you see, the science is sound. We don't need any of those super Draco thrusters. We only need some bold, steely-eyed missile men and solid rocket thrusters. You don't worry. I will talk about this on Twitter when everything is clear. Right? I'll be on Twitter and Facebook. You know the deal, the usual places. If you ever need to find out anything about what's going on, Twitter is the place, because I guess I know all of these things. Yes, that is not litho braking, that is ablative braking. Okay, and where was it? It was 2000, right? And I think I might be a little late on that one. No, actually, I was just fine. Yes! Another successful landing! That's 2 out of 2! But we need to get our actual landing altitude correct. I know we could take fuel out, right? So we're just gonna get it let it get a little closer this time. So this is gonna look amazing. Ready? Yes! 3 out of 3! What does it say? Peak G-force. 23 Gs! That's totally survivable! That's okay. I think I was just a little late there. So one more iteration on that. Totally stuck that landing there. That's because we used science. We're actually looking at the science and figuring out when these things need to fire, right? Okay, here we go again for a perfect landing. Hey! 4 out of 4! This is like a whole new kind of 22 Gs. I think that's a slight improvement. Okay, one more. I just want to see if I can get it to just collapse perfectly on the booster casings. I forgot that an off switch. Yes, SRBs do have an off switch. What you do is you hit them really hard and they explode. It's just like a big off switch on the bottom that you have to hit very, very fast. It's just below 1800 meters, I think. It's a Russian abort-like landing. Okay, one last go. I think this one might be too early. So I gotta spin it, right? Nine Gs! That was totally even better, right? Oh, man. I gotta get this perfect, right? I want to see if I can get this perfect. Okay. Oh, right, damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Now I've now adjusted my landing site, probably. You think the magic number is 1704. I think it's 1792. For no reason than I like... No, 1729. There. It's the Ramanujan Harvey number. Hardy. You know, that whole thing. The taxi cab number. We're totally doing this. Okay, once again, I think a little late there. But that, I think, is the best landing yet. I think that looked like the best landing yet. I think it's time to stop messing around and let them get out. Oh yeah. So actually now we need to get them back in because we need to do this from orbit for the challenge, right? The challenge specifically says from orbit, right? Oh. Okay. So what we need to do, and here's the hard part, right? Okay, so let's board it. Okay, so We need to recover the vessel. Here's the thing, we might have some issues with the stuff burning up, right? So we need to protect all this. So let's go back to this basic design. So we need to put this into orbit, and I'm going to say this is going to be solid rocket boosters all the way now. Now that we've gone down this route, we've gone this way, right? We have to do solid rocket boosters all day, every day, right? Eat, sleep, boost, repeat. So what I do need to have here, right, so we're going to put a heat shield on. Why? I don't know. I think I'm going to put a heat shield. I'm going to totally put a heat shield on this. Where's the heat shield? I thought it was under wings. No, it's under thermal, isn't it? Yes. 2.5 meter heat shield. Okay. And now on top, below this, whatever. Coupling. Got a Rockomax brand decoupler. And this is where we're going to start pairing off Sepatrons, right? Right, and we're going to make sure they're in different stages. That's good. Excellent. It is understanding my orders and putting all of these on separate stages. So these will be used for, like, adjustments in orbit. And then we just need a bunch of boosters to actually get us into an orbital trajectory. Oh crap, now it's not doing it right. So I need to do this. Here. 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 So we're going to try basically an Elon Musk style Dragon 2 landing using only solid rocket boosters. Right? That's all good. And then we can stage that and we'll get the heat shield. Right? Heat shield is there actually, so we've got to make sure that works. Everything's still on all those stages. Now we need to build out the rest of the spacecraft, and obviously since we're dealing with solid... Oh, actually, you know what I need? I need some solar panels on this stage to make sure we have power. Right. Let's do these OX7s. Good. Good. Now for aerodynamics reasons, we need the structural adapters that will bring these to... Oh, actually, yeah, let's do that. Where are my engines? Okay, that is all in the wrong stage there. You guys should be down there. I don't know what you were thinking. And then... the SRBs are substantially cheaper, but they're also... I'm just trying to think here whether I should have second and third stages, and I probably should, right? So I'm going to do this to make sure we've got those held together. Then we're going to have structural stage. Oh, decoupling, yes. Let's just do these radial decouplers like that. Oh, like that. And then we'll use the slightly smaller ones. The thumpers, I think, will go on this stage, and those will be the first ones to push us upwards. You probably find... I think what we're going to find is... I think actually I might have this the wrong way around, to be honest. Actually, here, let's do it this way. Let's do these four here. And then just have decouplers down here see if that will lift off. That might not even lift off. I don't have like any Kerbal engineer to tell me whether this is going to work or not. What I do know is I'm going to need struts, otherwise this thing is going to wobble around like a big wobbly thing. I also know that I'm going to need aerodynamics to keep this thing straight. So I'm going to put some winglets on here, and then some winglets on here. I think this will be very interesting. So we've got that. It'll be very interesting if I don't check my staging like Evel Knievel did. Okay, there we go. And we need these decouplers to be on this stage. Testland SRB. Okay. Yeah, you know, real life SRBs will have gimbaling, so this might not even get off the ground, but I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Oh, it totally gets off the ground. Okay, so let's start turning this way. It's actually doing a respectable 2G acceleration. Okay. Hold your horses there. So I think actually... Now the real danger actually with this is not that I don't... Okay, well... I do need to be going sideways a bit more. Actually, they're doing pretty well. The only thing is I wish I was kind of going laterally a little faster. But I guess as long as I get pretty close to above the atmosphere, we should be fine. Okay. 60 kilometers, okay. So I'm gonna... I just realized this needs to be on a separate stage. I'm gonna ditch that. Okay. So now when we get close to maximum altitude, I'm gonna fire these engines. I'm gonna keep this fairing on, and the reason is is that just solid fuel boosters? Yes, that is just solid fuel boosters. So we might need another stage on this thing, right? That's one thing that I've kind of mentioned. Okay, when I get about 30 seconds to go. Okay, there we go. And 3Gs. Woo! So I'm actually going to just point this here. See how that does in terms of getting us up to orbital velocity. It might put us onto escape velocity, that's the danger. If we get close to escape velocity, I shall start spinning the spacecraft around. Okay, doing pretty good. Actually, I guess what I'll do is now I'm gonna turn the thing 90 degrees. Okay. It's not so bad. So now we need to warp to there. Because we're still technically inside the atmosphere, right? Oh, and you know what I forgot to do was add decouplers here. Well, so much for that. So then my crappy Sepatrons are going to have to compete with the mass of all these things. Okay, hold on. Let's deploy the solar panels. We don't want to be out of power too badly. So that was a big waste. I wouldn't say I'm doing it in one attempt. I'm making some really dumb mistakes here. Don't worry. Don't worry, there is no shame in making errors like that. So I do need to get this thing above 70 kilometers to make it legally into orbit, right? Okay. Prograde. Come on. So I don't know if these things will give me the thrust, but I'm going to try. Ready, steady. Oh, can't do it from this. Oh, we're getting a bit of speed here. 76 kilometers. That means I am technically in orbit. So now, I'm going to fire a couple more of those. Just to get the orbit up a bit. How many of these do I have? Oh. I think some of them are firing through the thing and aren't providing any thrust. Because that certainly isn't providing any thrust. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to burn any more of these things because what instead I want to do is wait. I think I wait until I was absolutely sure that this thing will put me down over the desert. Okay, so we're going back out this way. So now we want to force the thing down. Okay, we're pretty close. So now I'm going to drop my apoaps, or periaps, as low as I can. And still, hopefully... What do you mean, shoot solar panels? I got solar panels on there. Okay. That... I think that might be providing some thrust. No, I don't think it is. Oh, that's providing thrust. See that? So at least I'm going to return to the atmosphere eventually. $50 kilometers. That's good. That's giving me thrust. Okay, that is definitely going to put me down over the desert, I think. So now, I'm going to turn prograde, because by the time I get there, it'll be retrograde. Okay. All good. The reason I put the solar panels out there is because there's solar panels on this stage for the final landing. I always forget solar panels, don't worry. There's no... Kerbal God. Like, as if... I hope when you say Kerbal God, you mean like, oh my god. Oh my god, what's he doing? Okay, now Elon Musk's spacecraft thingy. Now gonna try landing. I'm gonna do this whole mission on solid rocket boosters, remember? And it looks like we might be coming down over the mountains, which could adjust my landing calculations just a little. Oh no, retrograde, retrograde, retrograde. Retrograde, I said. Come, come. So we're just gonna burn these things off, because I really don't want them. They might not be doing anything, but what I want is my stage to be ready to ditch. Because we're gonna start losing things soon. Okay, so that, and finally, there we go, now that is the re-entry vehicle. I'm just gonna angle it this way. Okay, come on. Re-entry. You know the way you want to be. Yes, that is right. So now it is going through re-entry. Woohoo! And hopefully we can actually survive. Listen, I'm just a nice person that occasionally plays this game and has done a lot of different things, but there are many players out there that have done better things. You know why? Because it's a big world and nobody can be perfect at everything. I've got to really get this beer down me. Just Betty's IPA stuff. Okay, I'm going to F5 this here, because I think we've proven... We did the whole orbit thing, we made some mistakes on the staging. But we're going to manage. Let's rotate this thing. How's our... Yeah, we're burning a blader. And this is actually going down, but I think we're going to end up falling into the mountains. USS... Well, thank you. USS Numbnuts is saying, hey, he came and is watching me on YouTube, usually, but it's first Twitch stream. As for SpaceX, yeah, anything after... like, fairings, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure that the US Air Force, or whatever, NROL, sorry, were gonna be supportive of that kind of technology test, I'll tell you that. We're keeping the fairings for re-entry because inside here I realized that the fins I'm using are really not very good for high temperature stuff, so I'm keeping the fairings around. That's what it is. I mean, at some point, I hope this will, I'm hoping this will slow down enough so I can jettison them, but it seems to be taking a long time. I did oh, crap! I'm just going to turn off this. I'm going to turn off stability control and just let it kind of belly flop through the atmosphere like that. Fairings actually have pretty good thermal tolerance compared to other parts, so... you know, it's quite normal to use that to make sure, or it's quite a good idea to use the fairings to protect your spacecraft in situations like this. Yeah, I haven't leaked my stream key on Twitch. I did leak it on YouTube by accident, obviously. Man, this is taking a really long time to slow down, and I just know that those fins will not survive if I jettison this fairing now. Still, we're feeling a sustained 2G deceleration. It's not too bad. We're now at Mach 3. Yeah, we're really starting to feel... Now, here's the thing. Yeah, we've got through re-entry without any disabling thermal controls or anything, so... that at least is good. Time to jettison this. Excellent. And at some point I need to jettison this and start firing. Get rid of that. Okay, we still have all our engines. I'm just going to let this kind of tumble. Now here's the thing. I'm coming in at a higher altitude than ever before. And I don't know what kind of altitude I'm at. So actually, let's go inside and watch this altitude thingy. We want to fire it when the thing runs about there. Notice our velocity is increasing, by the way, right? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bingo. Oh, crap. Wrong button. Oh, T stability. Reverse thrust. Oh, crap. What the hell? Oh, man, of course. I was going sideways. Yeah. Time to go. Oh! Here's me, like, trying to save Jeb, and Bill and Bob were just like, where's Jeb going? Crash. Oh, yes. That is special. That is a moment for the you know, the final version, for the edit. Okay, so once again, space. Okay. I think I'm just gonna have to eyeball it. Yeah, Jeb will be back. I don't doubt it. There we go. We have enough power. Okay, here we go again, on my own. Come on! No, that was... Oh look, for once the thing survived. Cacti. It's UAF Flight 5... What? Okay, one more go at this. Maybe I should wait until the very last minute to jettison all this and just see how slow things go. Actually, you know, I'm curious as to whether this thing could soft land. Sorry, I'm all sniffly. Okay. Like, I wonder what the terminal velocity of this thing is. Yeah, that flea was beginning its long journey into the history books. Rather like that flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? Okay, I think I'm ditching this, ditching this. Retrograde. Okay, so we're coming down, let's say... I think part of the problem is I'm firing too early because I'm actually moving slower than I expected. Yes! SpaceX would be proud. Oh look, there's another piece coming down. Yes! That is marvelous. So yeah, notice I'm landing at about 1,000 meters. So maybe it's because we're at higher altitude already. I don't know. I want to get a nice landing on this. So that's the thing. Look, we've done it. We did a complete solid launch to orbit. We, you know, deployed the space. Well, we did our spacecraft thing. Yeah, now we need to just do it on a landing pad, yeah. I don't know what that was that exploded, but I'm sure we needed it. Okay, one last go. Now I just need to do this on a floating landing pad. I'm sure I do. Okay. So I'm turning prograde. I'm heading for this canyon. It would be my luck that the land... Oh, wait a second. We're apparently heading onto the walls of this instead. Hold on. How about this? Can I turn that way? Is it too late now? This might be hard to do. That was actually the best one yet in terms of timing. It's like we hit on top of this mountain. Wow. I'm gonna call that a success. Let's get out and climb to the top of that. Oh, so we can catch the last rays of sun. Come on! Come on, everybody! Up here, somewhere. Yeah, that would have totally been perfect if it was on a flat surface. I mean, I think it was pretty perfect. I think they all survived. I'm totally going to call this. I mean, I think this is like the end of tonight's stream, to be honest. So I gotta say thanks for everyone for showing up and doing stuff. I mean, I don't even know how many people watch these things anymore. But yeah, always glad to be here and always glad to be doing silly things like this. And I am hoping to get back to a regular posting schedule soon, but you know, family and work has been kind of getting in the way. And also, you know, having weird games like Space Plan. Only 100. Oh, wow, that's terrible. Well, no doubt plenty of people will watch the other videos. Just got here. Man, dude, Econo Light, you know what? You should have been here earlier when we were making this up. It's not like I can afford to wait for everyone to learn their stuff to get here in time. Look at this. This is some pretty cool stuff. This is like a stock install. I think it's a stock install. I just ran it from Steam. I don't think I have any mods on my Steam thing. No, actually, what I find out is I'll get to the top of this mountain and I'll find out that it's a ridge and that it's just part of the way there. Did we see all the Buran nonsense on Facebook? I do not know what you're talking about. I did see X-37 people, you know, the X-37 landing. I use CCAN, but I never use it with Steam. So there we go. He's standing there. Let's just time warp and wait for the sun to come back up. Because you know that's what it's all about. Yes. Beautiful, just beautiful. And what we need to do now is plant a flag. This would be so much easier if you could throttle rocket engines. There we go. So, good night, farewell. Thoughts on the X-37 is that it's doing secret stuff in space, and no, it's not a biological weapon, despite what people are saying about those hazmat suits. That's just how you deal with hydrazine, because it is scary tanks full of explosive carcinogen, and you do not want to be touching that. Yes, you know what? He's facing the wrong way. He needs to be facing like that, so he's like moonwalking. He's a champ moonwalker. That's what he's doing. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, good night, everybody. Fare thee well. Have a good new week. See you around next week. And until then, I'm Scott Manley. Fly. Shift.